I've been hearing from students and parents in the district, they're concerned about some of the schoolwork that students have. I'm going to keep it. Can people hear?
Yes.
All right, people hear me. Look at all big changes take time, right? All big changes take time. And some of the families I've been speaking with have been concerned about the amount of work that is burdening some of their students. Other families have said they really enjoy it. Now, I understand that this will take time. I will listen to the community and help families get through this transition. Right? It's the first time this has happened, and so I think it's important that we kind of look at the data, look at how students are doing. I know one of the big things was to provide students opportunities to work or intern. I want to make sure we have supports in place where students have the opportunity to find internships and things of that nature as well, which is what I haven't necessarily heard from parents. So that's one thing I was looking into as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Dominic.
I am 100% in support of this schedule. That's why I voted for it when it was time to when it came to the floor. This schedule provides our students in high school a unique opportunity, and that's how I looked at it, because in the past with the rotating schedule, our students didn't have a chance to do internships, to take different types of classes, to do the things that high school students should be able to do. With this schedule, they're going to be provided a ton more opportunity that is just beyond the scope of what they ever thought they could have. Again, I agree with Michael, it's going to take some time. I know my son, he was 100% against it. He was mad at me when I voted for it. However, he's getting used to it, and he's actually kind of adapted to it and is enjoying it. So I think it's a great move.
Thank you. Paul?
From what I know about it, I received several phone calls from teachers that weren't happy about it. However, the other side of the coin is the students are getting used to it and seem to like it, and gives them more opportunity, greater opportunity. So I'd be in favor of it.
Sarah?
I think that after this year is over, it would be a good opportunity to revisit how the students and faculty have made use of this new block schedule and time. I've been hearing concerns as well about students' ability to use this time for internships and whether or not students have resources available to them to get to internships and to use that time appropriately. So I'd like to revisit at the end of the year, as you do with all good policies that start off in year one, to review it to make sure that it's working for all parties.
Thank you. Stephanie?
I think it's something that's going to take, I believe we should review it and be in constant review. I think it's going to take a few years to really see the benefit of it. I don't know that the kids, like say the juniors and seniors this year, are really going to jump on board and see a benefit, but I think the freshmen and sophomore and then the incoming students will, as we work towards providing more opportunities. I think it's important to note that some teachers may not like it, but this was a project that was several years in the making between the school administration, the school committee, and the teachers union. This was part of a project that the teachers union was very much behind and worked on to implement. So, not everybody's gonna like it. Sorry. But it's something that they actually had a voice in and a part in, and we provide professional development for it. So, we're hoping that it's not going to be 84 minutes of lecture, and it's going to be different, but it's going to be a work in progress.
Thank you. Anyone? Dan, 60 seconds.
As a teacher, one of the things I do all the time is I ask the kids about the schedule. I've been through numerous schedules, so it's a common practice for me to ask my kids. And at first, my kids were very apprehensive about the schedule. They didn't like it before they had gone through it. One semester in, I haven't heard very many complaints. I've even kind of got information from their friends. It's been rolled out very well. And I think to piggyback onto what Stephanie said, you had teachers' involvement plan in the schedule, you had union leadership involvement plan in the schedule, as well as central administration and building administration. This was done well with parent forums as well. I'm in another district. I've seen things done poorly. I can say that they did it well. There is no perfect schedule, but rolling out this, I think, was done professionally
10
and
seconds.
considered.
Thank you.
Oh.
Having come from the classroom, I had about 45 minutes to teach geometry, trigonometry, calculus. And believe me, it's not enough time to get the lesson across. At the same time, try to help the students. Once you teach that lesson, you want to break down in small groups to assist them, as you give them a homework assignment and send them home. That 45-minute period was not sufficient. I like the block scheduling. It basically forces the teacher to become more creative and get more help for the kids in that particular classroom.
Thank you.
So
60 seconds.
Okay, I know. Speaking from experience, I might be the only one up here who actually has taught in the 84-minute block for a few years, and an administrator who actually put it into place in the school that I'm at now. You know, the 84-minute block, and I agree with you guys, is as good as the teachers. And in Cranston, we have tremendous teachers, and to go along with the very well-prepped teachers is support for professional development. So that's really what makes it, effective. But if those two pieces weren't in place, obviously the 84 minutes wouldn't be conducive for learning.
Just very quickly, we know this is a work in progress, and in speaking to the members of the Teachers Union Alliance, there are things that you think of everything, then all of a sudden you are in it, and it's like, oh, we didn't think of that, and now, and there are things like that are happening, but the good news is that because there's such a great relationship between the administration and the union and teachers, that they're able to kind of work through them as they find them, which is also really, really helpful. So there are things that they found that are working really well, and unexpected things that are working well, and unexpected things that they kind of need to fix, little glitches, but they are working on it, and it is a work in progress.